The air hung heavy with the cloying sweetness of cherry blossoms, a fragrance that could not mask the metallic tang of blood. Cherry blossoms, beautiful, ephemeral, much like the lives lost on the battlefield. Our hero, Sakura, stood amidst the carnage, their brow furrowed beneath their samurai helmet. Sakura, a warrior renowned for their skill with a katana, felt a growing emptiness within. Victory tasted like ash. What was the point of all this bloodshed, this endless cycle of violence? Sakura, you see, was different. Oh, not just cut from a different cloth different, though their silk kimono was rather fetching. No, Sakura harbored a secret, one that felt as heavy as their armor. They were born a woman, trapped in a man's world, a man's body. The battlefield was a stage, and Sakura was playing a role, but the performance felt increasingly hollow. The other samurai, they roared and boasted after battle. Not Sakura. Sakura craved something more, something beyond the clash of steel and the fleeting glory of conquest, something truer than the face staring back from the polished metal of their armor. The setting sun painted the sky in hues of blood orange and bruised purple, a mournful symphony of color. Sakura sheathed their katana, the rasp of metal a discordant note in the evening quiet. It was time for a change. But what? Where could a warrior so lost find their true path? Word reached Sakura of a strange man, a gaijin, living as a hermit in a bamboo grove north of Edo. This man, they said, possessed a wisdom deeper than the ocean, a laughter that could shake the mountains. Some called him a sorcerer, others a sage. He was known simply as Wat-san. Intrigued, Sakura decided to seek out this enigmatic figure. Perhaps Wat-san held the key to the puzzle that was Sakura's life. The journey was long and arduous, taking Sakura through winding mountain passes and across rushing rivers. The music of the journey was a melancholy yet strangely hopeful melody, a cello sighing under a soaring violin. Finally, Sakura reached the outskirts of the bamboo grove. The air here hummed with an unseen energy, a palpable sense of peace. The wind rustled through the bamboo, whispering secrets in a language Sakura couldn't understand but somehow felt in their soul. It was like stepping into a dream, the world outside fading away with every step. At the heart of the grove stood a small, rustic hut, smoke curling lazily from its chimney. Sakura hesitated for a moment, their hand hovering over the simple wooden gate. Taking a deep breath, they pushed open the gate and stepped inside. The interior of the hut was Spartan but welcoming. A fire crackled merrily in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The air was thick with the aroma of incense and something else, something indefinable but comforting, like the smell of old books and wisdom. Seated cross-legged on a tatami mat was Wat-san, his eyes twinkling with merriment. He was a man of indeterminate age, his beard as white as snow, yet his eyes sparkled with a youthful mischief. He gestured to a cushion opposite him. "Welcome, Sakura-san. I've been expecting you. Care for some sake?" His voice was warm and soothing, like a balm on a troubled soul. Sakura bowed low, accepting the proffered cup of sake. The warm liquid spread a comforting heat through their chest. "Wat-san," Sakura began, their voice hesitant. "I am lost, I fight, I win, yet I feel no joy. I am adrift in a sea of uncertainty, unsure of who I am, what my purpose is." Wat-san chuckled, a deep, rumbling sound like distant thunder. "Ah, the eternal question. Who are we? Why are we here? The universe rarely provides a program, my friend. We must write our own." He took a sip of sake, his eyes twinkling over the rim of the cup. "But how?" Sakura pleaded. "How do I find this purpose? How do I become who I am meant to be?" Wat-san smiled enigmatically. "Perhaps," he said, his voice barely a whisper, "you already are." Section 4. The Mask Falls Away. The conversation flowed late into the night, punctuated by the crackle of the fire and Alan Watts's infectious laughter. He spoke of Zen Buddhism, of the illusion of self, of the interconnectedness of all things. He challenged Sakura's perceptions, urging them to look beyond the rigid confines of their samurai identity. "We are all waves on the ocean of existence," Wat-san explained, his hands moving in fluid gestures. "But we forget that we are also the ocean itself." Sakura listened, their mind reeling. They had been so focused on the battle, on winning, that they had forgotten to truly live. They had been so busy trying to be the perfect samurai, they had neglected to be true to themselves. As the moon climbed high in the sky, bathing the bamboo grove in its silvery light, Sakura felt a weight lifting from their shoulders. The realization struck them like a bolt of lightning. They had been living a lie, denying their true nature. "I understand," Sakura whispered, their voice trembling with emotion. "I have been wearing a mask, fighting a battle that is not mine to fight." And with those words, something within Sakura shifted. It was as if a dam had broken, releasing a torrent of suppressed emotions. Years of pain, confusion, and self-denial came pouring out. Wat-san listened patiently, offering no platitudes, only his quiet, unwavering presence. He knew that true enlightenment could only come from within. Section 5. A Warrior's Laughter. The next morning, Sakura awoke feeling lighter than they had in years. The sun filtering through the bamboo leaves seemed brighter, the air cleaner, the world full of possibilities. As they looked out at the dew-kissed bamboo grove, they felt a laugh bubble up from deep within them. It was a laugh of release, of liberation, of pure joy. Wat-san, sipping a cup of tea, smiled. "Ah, I see the caterpillar has remembered it can fly." Sakura, still chuckling, looked at him with newfound clarity. "Wat-san, you have given me a priceless gift." They bowed low, their heart brimming with gratitude. "Nonsense," Wat-san said with a wave of his hand. "You were always complete, always whole. All I did was hold up a mirror." From that day forward, Sakura was a changed person. They abandoned the battlefield, exchanging their katana for a calligraphy brush, their armor for a simple robe. They embraced their femininity, no longer content to hide behind a facade of masculinity. Section 6. The Dance of Life and Death. The transformation wasn't easy. The other samurai scoffed, whispered behind their hands. But Sakura no longer cared for their approval. They had found something far more precious, self-acceptance. Sakura's art became their new battlefield, their brushstrokes bold and expressive, capturing the essence of the natural world and the fleeting beauty of life. Their paintings were a riot of color and emotion, a celebration of the human spirit in all its messy, glorious complexity. And the music? Oh, the music changed too. It became a playful melody, a whimsical waltz, punctuated by moments of quiet contemplation, like a sudden shower of cherry blossom petals, carried on the breeze. Sakura learned that life, like the dance between a calligraphy brush and rice paper, was about balance, about finding harmony between seemingly opposing forces, strength and vulnerability, joy and sorrow, life and death.